like to call to order our meeting today for the Allegany County Board of Education, Tuesday, June 16th, 2026 at 5:05 p.m. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Llewellyn will now read closed session summaries for executive sessions held on May 12th.
The Allegany County Board of Education met in closed session on May 12th, 2026 at 3:03 p.m. here at the central office. The purpose of the closed session was to engage in administrative function, discuss personnel matters, consider the acquisition of real property, and consult with legal counsel. All 5 board members were present for the meeting, and the vote to go into closed session was unanimous. The topics discussed were update on employee arbitration, state board appeal, offer to purchase real property, and update from auditor.
Thank you, Mr. Llewellyn. Moving on to the consent agenda, is there a motion regarding the consent agenda?
Motion to approve consent agenda.
Thank you, Dr. Bond.
Motion to second.
Second by Mrs. Widmeyer. Any questions, concerns, comments? All those in favor? Passes unanimous. Yes, did you vote? Okay, passes unanimously. Okay, first under our superintendent's report this evening, we would like to recognize all of our retirees from ACPS this year. We have a list of all of them in the system. I'm gonna read each name and the years of service, but if you're present with us, we would like for you to come up to the podium. Dr. Bond has a certificate for you. And if you would, stay to the side together, and then we're gonna get a group picture in here, because we know you all love that, please, if you don't mind. Danny Carter, 46 years. Nancy McGowan, 39 years. Terry Beeman, 38 years. I tell you what, if they're not present, let's hold our applause till the end, because you're going to just clap 47 times if we don't. But if they're here and we recognize them, we'll clap. How's that? I like to keep things rolling. Sharon Malik, 37 years. Tracy Robinette, 33 years. Janet Mickey, 32 years. Christy Smearoff, 32 years. Patricia Gray, 31 years. Donna Beeman, 30 years. Stephanie Beeman, 30 years. Tacey Hevner, 30 years. Matthew Marsh, 30 years. Harriet Dolly, 30 years. Regina Yost, 30 years. Shelley Stouffer, 30 years. Shelley Watson, 29 years. Craig Combs, 29 years. Laurie Ferguson, 28 years. Timothy Campbell, 27 years. Sherry Zimbauer, 27 years. Daphne Jenkins, 27 years. Bridget Vanderhout, 26 years. Krista Wilson, 26 years. Deborah Thomas, 26 years. Julie Durrance, 25 years. Richard Hendrickson, 24 years. Sandra Wilt, 24 years. Sonia Sell, 23 years. Monica Dawson, 22 years. Thomas Prescorn, 22 years. Phyllis Shackelford, 21 years. Mary Riggleman, 21 years. Sherry Helmstetter, 21 years. Christina Blake, 21 years. Susan Willingham, 21 years. Denise Beeman, 20 years. Jeffrey Blank, 20 years. Jill Wire, 20 years. Dina Bradley, 20 years. Teresa Dunlap, 20 years. Melissa Jacobson, 20 years. Mary Morozic, 20 years. Patricia Flanagan, 20 years. Cindy Harrison, 20 years. Lisa Palmer, 18 years. Now, a thunderous round of applause as Dr. Martirano would say. And we want to say thank you all for coming to celebrate with us, and congratulations, and board members up because they want a group picture. Okay, we so have some athletes that we're going to recognize, and same thing, we're going to do a school at a time, and when the students are up here for each school, we're going to do another group picture. So after your coaches and representatives speak and pull you up front, if you all could just stay here, we'll get a picture of each group, and then you're welcome to leave if you would like to. So first up, we have Fort Hill High School, Mrs. Candy Cannon and Mr. Gavin Palumbo.
Coach Alcar wanted to be here tonight to personally recognize these outstanding athletes. As many of you know, he also serves as our head football coach, and unfortunately, an out-of-town event ran longer than expected, preventing him from joining us. He asked me that I share the following on his behalf. First up, we have Jaden Emerson. Jaden has a great career that wrapped up with a state championship in the 100-meter hurdles, and she did it in record fashion. At the regional meet, Jaden tied the school record with a time of 14.9. At the state meet, she improved on that time by breaking the record and winning a state title with a time of 14.81. Jaden also finished 6th in the 100-meter dash and was part of the 4x1 relay team that finished 2nd place. We also have the pleasure of having former record holder Barb Williams with us here tonight to honor Jaden. We appreciate her willingness to join us in celebrating her accomplishments, and we thank her for giving our hurdlers something to chase for so many years. Next up, we have Casey Martz. Casey Martz had a great state weekend. Casey won both of his events, starting with a championship in the shot put with a throw of 50 feet 7 inches, then following that up with a championship in the discus with a throw of 146 feet 7 inches. Casey returns next year with another shot at a double championship. Finally, our last athlete is Sadie Hamilton. After being a major contributor in the 100-meter hurdles, 300-meter hurdles, long jump, and 4x200-meter relay, Sadie decided to add another event to her repertoire. On April 24th, Sadie competed in her very first triple jump event. She finished 2nd at the Fort Hill Invite with a jump of 31 feet 3 inches, and that would be the last time that she didn't finish first. She went on to win the county and regional titles, and then just 1 month after starting her first competition in the event, she leapt 35 feet 5.5 inches to win the state championship. Sadie also finished 4th in the 100-meter hurdles and 7th in the 300-meter hurdles at the state meet. She has a lot of big things ahead of her, and we look forward to watching her continue to grow. Thank you guys for your time.
Coach,
Hold on,
behalf
just
of the
stay there 1
board,
second.
yeah, you don't need to leave. We have some plaques we would like to present to the student athletes. Are they here? Jaden Emerson.
Jaden's not here.
Sadie. There you go. Congratulations. And this one's for
Well, Sadie, it's just you in the picture, I guess, so. come
Yeah.
on up.
Oh, we're gonna do this now.
Principal right here by your student.
Okay, next we would like to recognize our Mountain Ridge athletes. We have Coach Mr. Hawkins and Dr. Kinney. Don't all run at once. And as you call your athletes up, Mrs. Lepley does have the plaques for them. So if you call them up one at a time or however you want to do it, but we do have for them as well.
All right, thank you. I actually would like to cede some of my time to some of our other coaching staff that works directly with our athletes that won state championships. So, Andrew, if you would come up for Zach, and then Dan for the 4x8 team, and Sophia, and then I'll finish up talking about our team championship.
Thank you, Andrew. Thanks for letting me go first. Appreciate the opportunity to be here. My name's Dan DeWitt. I'm happy to serve as one of the track coaches in Mountain Ridge. Get a chance to work with a lot of these great kids. This year was really, really special across the board. We had a lot of really good participation. Our numbers a little bit smaller than they've been in the past, but we had a lot of really dedicated athletes that were very, very committed to doing really big things. Early on in the year, we knew there'd be a chance that we'd be able to have a good shot to compete for not only a lot of individual titles and awards, but also perhaps a state title as well. Even with a team full of athletes that are stacked in a lot of events, a lot of things still have to go right for that to happen. Fortunately, that worked out well for us. People that have said congratulations to me, it's odd for me because I didn't really do anything other than go cheer the kids on. They did all the work, and it's been really just a big honor to work with them. Specifically, I worked mostly with the distance runner kids, anybody from about half mile up, and we've had last couple of years we've had a lot of especially good females in that those event groups for Mountain Ridge. This particular year, we had a very, very talented group of distance runners that just really made quick work of the 4x800 meter relay at the state meet, and they normalized things that aren't really that normal, and trying to convince athletes that what they're doing is not only possible but within their abilities is a challenge, because you don't want to make it seem like a big deal even though it is, and at the same point trying just to convince them that if they keep doing what they've always done, then there's a good chance they'll be able to achieve what they want to achieve. So this group of girls has just really done a fantastic job. It's been a lot of fun to work with. Sometimes with kids you have to convince them to want what maybe they can achieve, and this group of girls has been the opposite of that. If anything, I've had to pull them back a little bit and just take your time, and then when it's time to go, then they've gone. So I'd be real honored if the 4x8 team would be able to come up here and join me to receive recognition for winning the state title this year at the 1A state meet. One of the girls on the team couldn't be here. She also won the 1,600 meter run, Sophia Brill. And this group of girls, all three of these girls here, will be back next year. And we have several here, even in the audience, that might be able to join them next year and look for a sustained run of success in this event and some others going into the future. So thank you. Congratulations, girls. This is, I'm sorry, yeah. I'll introduce them. Fiona Riddell, incoming senior. Ashlyn Hawkins, incoming junior. Ainsley Hawkins, incoming junior. Okay.
Yeah, if you just want to take a step or two back, and then when the other athletes come up, we'll do a picture all together. You don't have to look like that.
Gonna hide. No hiding. Okay, good evening. My name's Andrew Orndorff. I coach boys and girls sprints, jumps, hurdles, along with Coach Rafferty here with the motorcycle helmet back here. We're a team coaching those events together for boys and girls. And today I want to recognize, it's my honor to present to you Zach Haberline. Zach's been with me for 4 years. Zach holds, correct me if I'm wrong, okay? Zach holds 8 outdoor track school records, 4 indoor track school records, and is the Mountain Ridge High School boys track all-time leading scorer. Is that correct? Okay. But for all of his accolades and accomplishments, the one thing that eluded Zach coming into his senior season was a state championship. That did not sit well with Zach or myself. So from day one in March, we changed some of Zach's training modalities with the goal of winning a state championship in the 400-meter dash. Zach embraced a new training plan in the event that he was once afraid to run. It's true, isn't it, Zach? Zach's hard work and high track IQ enabled him to execute the 400-meter race plan perfectly at the state meet, and he walked away from his last meet as a minor as the boys' 1A 400-meter dash state champion. Congratulations, Zach. You have exemplified excellence in your attitude, preparation, and effort. You have been awesome to coach, and the influence of your positive attitude, friendliness, and dare I say confidence will be greatly missed by our team. Best wishes at WVU.
All right, finally, joining the 3 state champions that we had in events, we were lucky enough for our girls team to be state champions. That is an accomplishment that we started talking about last year at the end of the season happening, but a lot of that's just a pipe dream. You know, you think you have the pieces to do it, but a lot has to fall in place. Coach Orndorff likes to call it catching lightning in the bottle, and it's really hard to do. This year we didn't focus on it. At one point, I know March 31st, at a meet at Kaiser, when things looked like our team was starting to unravel a little bit, we told the girls we think we have a state championship team here. That's the one and only time it was mentioned all year. Even going into the state meet after winning the regional meet, it was, don't worry about the team score. Don't talk to me about the team score. Let's just focus on event after event. We took 13 girls to the state meet. 11 of them scored points for us, which is tremendous. The 2 that did not score points were just absolutely just so close. It was a team effort all around. We had kids get 10 points by winning events. We had girls get 1 point, 8th place in a relay. We ended up only winning by 3 points, and it was pretty nerve-wracking at the end because I did look at the team score, and I knew going into the last event what we needed to do to pull it out. And so 13 girls here. I'm gonna name them. Ashlyn Hawkins, Ainsley Hawkins, Fiona Riddell, Sophia Brill's not here. You can stand up too. Okay, come on up when I call your name. Kaylana Puali, Mariana Schweitzer, Caroline Orndorff, Aaliyah Hutchins, Lillian Race, let's see, Mesa Reese, Dakota Stevenson. And then not present tonight, we have 3 seniors that couldn't be here: Carolyn Hughes, Allie Canarium, and who am I missing? Oh, I already said Sophia. Okay. But these girls did some amazing things last year, and we are absolutely blessed at the school to not only have them as athletes, but have the coaching staff that we do, because they do a tremendous job. And not only that, you can see all the parents in here, right? You can see administrators. We have a great athletic trainer. I know these 13 are standing up here representing us, but there is a whole bunch of people behind them that just help create the right environment for success for them. And if I could say this, it's coaching is overrated. Loving and caring is not. And love you guys. Congratulations. Thank you.
Okay, at this time, we will move on to unfinished business, and I'll turn it over to Mr. Llewellyn for a moment for new first reading of animals on ACPS property policy file IMGA.
What happened? I pressed the button. I guess I didn't press it the right way. Board members, you'll recall that in March, you had on your agenda, then under new business, a policy IMGA, animals on school property. You sent that policy, you did not approve that first reading, and you sent that policy back for further work. And so before you now is a newly revised policy, IMGA, not too different than the one you had in terms of substance, but kind of easier to read, I think. I want to give you some background on the policy. There was no policies related to having animals of any kind on school property. And I'll start from that. This is about animals more generally. So whether we're talking feathers, fur, or scales, this is what this policy is meant to address. So we had nothing in policy to address how we handle that in our schools. And so this policy is really a student safety and school operations policy. Animals are generally not allowed in schools under this policy, and that's true not just locally. I think that's true nationwide, because you've probably heard me say, as I've given counsel at different times, when students get on that school bus and come to our schools act, we say in loco parentis. That's Latin, and the Supreme Court uses that language a lot when it talks about schools. That means we take the place of parents when we have those kids at school. And so we're required to maintain a safe, sanitary, allergy-sensitive, and instructionally focused environment. And so that kind of guides then where our policy has to be. I think it's also important for you to recognize that this policy cross-references another policy that is in existence, policy IMG, and its regulation IMGR, which regulates how do we handle students with disabilities who may require an animal, either a dog or a miniature horse, is what the ADA typically allows in those situations. So ACPS will continue, if you pass this policy, will continue to allow for service animals for students and employees and even visitors with disabilities as required by the ADA, Section 504, as was the federal law, as well as Maryland law. And I know this has come up in some public comment before. ACPS also recognizes Maryland's rule for service animals in training, which are allowed in places of public accommodation in Maryland. However, there's an exclusion for that, and that exclusion is where that animal would create a clear danger of disturbance or physical harm, which kind of gets back to the purpose of the policy, where we talk about we've got to maintain an instructionally focused environment and one that's safe for our kids. And so that's what this policy is meant to address. There are times when the policy allows for and recognizes that there are times when we may want to have animals on school property. So I'll give you an example. As you know, we had an incident at Allegany this year where the school was in lockdown and under threat. That can be disturbing. And I think after that event, when the students came back, there were dogs that we contracted for available. They weren't just out; they were available at a spot in the school. The students could take advantage of that because there's obviously can be benefits to therapy animals. So that's generally the policy in a nutshell. and how it will be handled if passed. And of course, this is first reading. It will require a second reading for it to become policy. And I'm covering this now. I know you have the regulation under new business for review. So happy to answer any questions or have any discussions about it.
Okay, I believe proper point of order would be a motion and a second on the floor, and then we'll open it up for discussion, correct? So is there a motion regarding policy? It's just among the board members at this point. That's for public comment time. Is there a motion on the floor regarding policy file IMGA?
So moved.
I didn't say.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, motion to approve new first reading of animals on ACPS property policy file IMGA.
Thank you, Mr. Green. Is there a second?
Second?
Second by Dr. Bond. Now we'll open up for any questions, comments, and discussion.
Just wanted to make a quick comment. And this is directly to the public comment we've received. And Ms. Summers specifically, I want to thank you for your advocacy on this issue. I thank you for bringing your sharing information with the board over the last few months. As you'll see with us taking this back to board for further review, we care deeply about comments from the public and the impact that you've had on students at the school. This policy, as Mr. Llewellyn explained, is really about addressing gaps in our current policy and regulations. It is to ensure equitable access for service animals within our schools. I just want to be very clear that we appreciate your advocacy. We think it's very important that we have the public engaged in this sort of discussion about policy and regulations that impact our employees and our students, and kind of explain the rationale there. Yes, ma'am. And again, I wanted to again offer that comment to say that, you know, we do appreciate the feedback that you've shared. I know you've signed up for public comment. We look forward to hearing, you know, that comment as well. But I wanted to address directly that we do appreciate that and explain the rationale for this policy.
Any other board member comment? Ms. Lepley?
Yeah, and Max covered it really well. And where it is for us, it comes down to liability. And when it was addressed that we didn't have a policy in place.
We did have a policy. I helped write it.
Just saying. Point of order, please, no interruptions during the board member discussion.
But I did my due diligence. I sought feedback. I read all the feedback that I got. I also sought feedback from the community and looked for other school systems to see how they handled this and to see what kind of policies they put in place to handle the liability. And I couldn't find anything in the country, actually, that handles this specific situation. So it all comes down to liability, and this was a tough one. It really was, and this is, you know, one of those things that's not fun to have to deal with. But I mean, this is something we do have to address, and we'd be negligent if we didn't.
I'd like to just agree that I support what they both said, and I've done the same thing. I have always had a dog. I have 2 dogs currently. I'm a gigantic dog lover, as you could tell by my clothes with the hair that's usually all over them. But as Lori Lepley was saying, it's an issue of liability, and there just are no comparisons, and I cannot, as a board member, you'll get a chance to talk at questions. I'm sorry, that's how the regulations and rules go. But I cannot, as a board member, not support protecting our students and the legal integrity of our school system by not voting for this policy.
Mrs. Whitmire?
I also would like to agree with the other board members. This was long and this was hard for all of us. There was a lot of discussion. We appreciate the information you brought to us because it educated all of us and made us dive a little deeper into how dogs were used or any animals in a school system or any kind of situation where people with disabilities needed to use their dogs. I'm like Dr. Bond. I also have a yellow lab who is my world. She's wonderful. And I had to think long and hard about this because we are not against having these dogs if it's in the proper situation. I, for one, have a husband who was attacked when he was 6 by a dog, and he still, as an adult, has some fear of larger dogs. So I have to think of that with our teachers and our other students who have had bad situations with animals. I'm not against bringing an animal in for an activity, for a reading session, but it has to be something that is planned ahead and everyone is known what is going on, what the expectations are. Please don't think we took this lightly, because we did not. We thought long and hard and had lots of discussions about it and how it affected the students. But as the rest of the board members said, bottom line is we're not responsible for one child or 20 children in a classroom. We're responsible for every child in our school system, and we had to take that into account.
Thank you, Mrs. Widmeyer, and I fall right in line with the other comments this evening. Other than hiring a superintendent, the board's number one responsibility is policy and procedure of the school system, and we have to take that job very serious. So if something were to happen and this policy was in place, it's going to come back on the 5 of us right now, and that's a big part of the decision-making that goes into a policy like this when it's presented to us. And as Ms. Widmeyer and all the others said, we didn't take it lightly. We had a lot of feedback. We had your feedback, school community members, but also policy committee and staff. And we put a lot of thought into it, but we have to take it serious. And I appreciate everyone's comments this evening. We know how everyone feels, and we want to get the first read going. We do have a motion and a second. So if we could, if there's no more comment, I will call for a vote. All those in favor? Okay, passes unanimously. Thank you. Mr. McKenzie, back there anxiously awaiting in the back for the finance update, please, sir.
Members of the board, so tonight is the culmination of the fiscal 27 budget process. We're 2 weeks early even, so with the start of the new year, July 1st. So in past meetings, we've shared revenue estimates, expenses. We've met in 2x2s. We've talked in open session about what the budget looks like. The board acted and adopted a funding request from county that was sent over to county government. We met in front of the Board of Commissioners, explained what our request was and how we got there, and was just notified recently that our funding request has been fully funded. Tonight, we deal with a lot of estimates. We talked back in January about what our draft state aid may look like. We have final state aid numbers at this point, which is why we're here tonight to make the appropriate adjustments to the budget that you all had previously approved, because you also recall whenever we were during one of my presentations, actually probably a couple, that we're not like the federal government. We can't run at a deficit. So revenues and expenses have to match. So basically where we were, the final draft of state aid, and state aid represents about 72% of our budget. And so we ended up losing about $137,000 in state aid. So some of that was restricted. Almost 130,000 was restricted. About 7,800 was unrestricted. So how did I balance the budget? Well, we received kind of some pluses and some minuses whenever it came to different funding streams. So we were able to increase salaries by $29,348. One of the decrements was our grant for pre-K, and that was $166,000, almost $167,000. So we reduced our supplies and materials budget, and then lastly, there was a $24 hit with COP funds from where we started and what was drafted. So at the end of the day, and these numbers don't reflect any changes that you all may be considering or wanting to make this evening, but with those changes, the budget has been balanced. So does anyone have any questions that I can answer? Okay.
No questions for Mr. McKenzie? Okay, so then, do you have anything, I'm sorry, I was going to jump ahead to vote
Nope.
past the
absolutely.
budget adoption. I don't want to cut you off.
Absolutely,
Okay.
yep.
Is there a motion regarding the budget adoption for fiscal year 27?
I move to adopt the budget for 2027.
I second that.
Any other questions, comments? All those in favor? Passes
Okay.
unanimously. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
McKenzie.
I just would like to say thank you very much. That's not a job I would want to do, and you've done it. It's been easy for us to follow along with everything that you've presented to us, so thank you for a good job.
Okay, at this time, we'll move into public comment. As a reminder, topics that are excluded are individual personal issues, comments identifying individual students or staff members, matters that are on appeal or may be appealed, topics for which the board schedules formal public hearings, or advertising or solicitation for products and/or services. We do ask that you limit your comments to 5 minutes. Dr. Bond will be our timekeeper this evening, and we have Ms. Sommer signed up to speak.
Obviously, the decision has already been made, but I will say that you are erred in many areas. I know of a superintendent in New York who raised a dog like I did in his school. There was a horrific bus accident. Of course, he had his dog with him. The dog was a comfort, and that dog graduated, went with a person who has a disability. He then got a dog for himself. It's called a facility dog. Also in Baltimore County, Kingston Elementary, the principal there got a facility dog. So there are situations where there are dogs in the school. I also want to say that this is our 22nd dog. So I've been here for this school year that just ended was 41 years for me. We keep a dog for 18 months. That's a year and a half. The better part of my 41 years, I've had dogs in the school. Never. You talk about data all the time, reading scores, MCAP scores, Dibble scores. The score for me is 0, nothing. I check for allergies. I check for people who are afraid. I've never had anyone get bit, scratched. These aren't that type of dog. That's not what they're being trained for. I want to know how you get away from the Maryland law that says state laws determine a service animal trainer as an individual who can be either a professional or a volunteer who provides a training or raises a service animal for the benefit of persons with disabilities. Trainers of service animals, when accompanied by the animal during the training process, may be granted access to all places open to the public. I'm not sure how you work around that Maryland law. But I also want to say that in terms of the therapy dogs, this is not a therapy dog, nor is it a pet. This dog's going to leave my house in August. He's not a pet. I love him. 22 dogs, I have 22 holes in my heart. But he's not a pet. He's an animal in training, being trained to help someone who has a disability to give them some independence in their life. But I want to tell you that I was at South Penn for many, many years. We had gas problems where we had to evacuate, go to the Salvation Army. We had many incidences where they thought the fire alarm had been pulled, no one knew why. My dogs were the comfort to that entire school. Kids who are crying on the playground, go over and sit with Miss Susan. There was no crying anymore. We walked over to the Salvation Army. The kids were upset, crying. All I had to do was walk amongst them with my dog at that time. The crying stopped. They're not therapy dogs. They're service dogs in training. I don't get paid for this. It costs us a lot of money to do this. I do it to give people who aren't as lucky as me physically or mentally to have some independence in their life. I don't know if you guys ever look at anything that I send you because I never get any feedback, but this is something that we do out of the goodness of our heart. I have a brother who's paraplegic. I had a mother who was hearing impaired, deaf. That's why I know sign language. These dogs change people's lives. They aren't born. These dogs aren't born. We just don't have a dog and go, oh, here you go, this dog is going to pull your wheelchair. We train them. They're not born. They're raised. That's what we're doing. We're raising a service dog. And I just want to know, how do you get around Maryland law, American Disabilities Act law? How do you do that? How do you do that?
That's what.
I would just be happy to say I would recommend you review the regulation that we are considering today, IMGA R1, which is on the
I saw it.
docket for review. We do accommodate for service animals as defined under Maryland Code Human Services Section 7-704 and 7-05. We also follow and reference specifically the Americans with Disabilities Act in that regulation.
And Comar says that a service dog in training has all the rights and privileges as a dog that is trained. How is he going to become a certified service dog if someone doesn't train him? Question, what about the data? 22 dogs, 0 incidences. How do we address that?
Mr. Allen, do you have a response to the legal part aside from the Maryland law, or no?
Well, I think her question, under the ADA, there's no protection for service animals in training.
I have it right here.
I appreciate that. And under Maryland law, you're correct that service animals in training are entitled to go in places of public accommodation. But I would direct you to 7705C2, which says that they may be excluded if admitting the animal would create a clear danger of disturbance or physical harm to an individual in the place.
Has that happened in 22 dogs? Have we had that situation?
Ma'am, I have no way of knowing that.
I just told you.
And I question whether you had a way of knowing either. So
The dog is on
Okay,
my...
we are at our 5 minutes, so we're going to
course.
move on with the rest of the meeting, and you're welcome to stay after for any questions or clarification, but the public meeting is not typically a back and forth, so we're going to respect the order of the meeting and continue on. New business, Dr. Wendy Main with her staffing update for fiscal year 2027.
Good evening. It's been a great day for retirees. Thank you for allowing me to participate. Good for them. So it is my honor to bring before you today the FY27 Special Education Staffing Plan. We bring that to the board for approval every June. Are you working that or am I? Okay, thanks. So just to begin with, I want to provide some assurances to our superintendent and our board that our department is committed to providing equal access and opportunities for all people in accordance with the applicable federal and state laws, including Improving America's School Act, Section 504, the Rehabilitation Act, Americans with Disabilities Act, IDEA, which is the Individuals with Disability Education Act, and COMAR. Through these efforts, we support children with disabilities and their families in accessing high-quality educational services and achieving success within the school system. Our current special education numbers, right now we have 1,520 students receiving special education services, which is approximately 19% of our student population. There is a breakdown. There are pre-K students, which is our 3 and 4s, make up about 15% of that number. Our elementary students make up about 50%, and secondary 35%. This number represents a slight decrease of 13 students from the same time last year. The number does fluctuate with, of course, students coming in and out, students becoming eligible, and rolling out of services. We try to maintain a ratio of 1 special education teacher per every 12 to 15 students in our inclusion settings. That is elementary, middle, and secondary. 1 special education teacher per every 6 students in an elementary self-contained setting, and 1 special education teacher to every 10 in secondary self-contained settings. We currently have 927 students eligible for and receiving speech therapy services, and we seek to maintain about 50 students per caseload for our speech therapist. Based on our current needs, this is the recommended staffing positions, and it's a great day for me because in the first time, and I can remember, we are almost fully staffed. We need 104 special education teachers. We currently have 3 vacancies and 3 positions that are filled with a long-term substitute. We have 102 full-time instructional assistants with 12 vacancies, 68 contractual instructional assistants with 12 vacancies, 21 speech pathologists. That includes 2 contractual positions where we have staff working hourly, 1 teacher of the visually impaired or deaf of hard of hearing. We have advertised for additional support in that area as this teacher has about 60 kids on her caseload, so she's got a lot. So we're going to push it out again, but so far we've not had anybody apply. We have 1 mental health counselor and 10 psychologists with 1 vacancy. In addition, we have an infant and toddler coordinator, 8 IEP chairs, 8 IEP coaches, which used to be special ed facilitators, so we have broken that job into 2 pieces. I have 1 vacancy there. 5 behavior specialists with 1 vacancy, a non-public specialist, a data manager who also serves as our assistive technology specialist, 4 instructional specialists, and 1 transition specialist. It is important to know that the number of 68 contractual IAs is an increase of last year from about 4.5 staff members. That's all I have for you tonight. I will answer any questions that you might have.
Okay, do we have any questions for Dr. Main? Well, that seemed really easy. Short
It
and
did.
sweet.
It did.
Yes, go ahead.
I think, board members, what Dr. Main has said regarding the staffing, where we are at this time of the year, is incumbent upon the work of which is being done in our special education department, the recruitment, the retention, the additional training, the contractual pieces that we've negotiated for our IAs, a number of things. We're very proud of the work and acknowledging nationwide this is a major challenge to staff the needs of our schools. And I commend your leadership and thank you for the work you're doing.
I appreciate it. Thank you. We started with about 16 vacancies. I was really, really worried. And again, we're down to 3, and I've got 3 applicants. So I anticipate being able to fill those. They've been high-quality applicants that are certified, and I'm thrilled. I'm very, very hopeful. So, yeah.
Is there a motion to approve the special education staffing plan for fiscal year 2027?
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Mrs. Lepley. A second?
Second.
Second by Dr. Bond. Again, no questions, comments? All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Thank you, Dr. Main. Appreciate you. Okay, also under new business, just consider the regulation reviews of the animals on ACPS property. Mr. Llewellyn.
So obviously you have a second reading ahead of you on the policy, but you can do the review of the regulation now, and you don't vote on regulations. So you can discuss it, and if you're unhappy with the policy, I guess is maybe not the correct terminology, but with the regulation, you can basically send it back for further policy work. Otherwise, doing nothing means that the regulation stands and then will become effective if you approve the second reading of the policy at your August meeting, which then the policy and its regulation will be applicable to the new school year going forward.
Any questions regarding the regulations? Okay. Our student member of the board is not with us. She has graduated and moved on to other things. We'll have a new student member with us in August. And then now we'll move on to board member updates. One quick update, we will not be meeting in July on the regularly scheduled Tuesday, but we are planning to meet a week early on Tuesday, August 3rd for our next meeting. And are there any other board member updates?
2 quick updates from me. One is that I'm not presenting a local advisory council and career and technical education update, as we have not met since our last meeting. The update I did want to share is really a special thank you to our Career Center students, staff, Dr. Martirano and central office staff who supported the open house and finishing the student constructed home out on Old Cressuptown Road. We had an open house on June 6th. It was very well attended. Specifically, I want to thank not just the students, but also Belt Construction, Harbell Construction, Carpenters Local 423, and IBEW Local 307 on behalf of the entire board. If you are looking for a home, please take a look at that, tour the home. It's being listed by Charisse Realty. They're managing the sale. That's all for me.
Thank you, Mr. Green. Any other board member updates? Mrs.
I
Whitmire?
just would like to echo what Max just said. It's a relief to see that building finished. It's a beautiful building. The Career Center does an excellent job, and I'm glad to see it's finally come to finality. For all the parents, June 24th, report cards come out, and I don't know if this is for the kids or for the parents, but there's only 70 days until the first day of school.
Oh, hi.
Wow, what a terrible thing to say.
That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Ms. Whitmire. Ms. Lepley, do you have, nope. Okay, your mic was on, that's why. No, Lori's was. Anything else? Okay, motion to adjourn. Mrs. Whitmire, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Dr. Bond. All those in favor? Thank you all. Have a great summer. We'll see you in August.